I love Sonic 3 and Knuckles. It's easily one of my top 5 games of all time. Loads of great levels, 3 characters with different abilities to play as, and a cool story where Sonic butts heads with a new rival, Knuckles the Echidna. Sonic 3 proved to be too ambitious a project, so it was split into 2 separate releases. Sonic 3 released early 1994 and Sonic & Knuckles released later that year, with revolutionary lock-on technology that allowed you to connect the two together and play the complete adventure in one go. A game like Sonic 3 and Knuckles is perfect for the Iceberg format, where we take this image of an iceberg, littered with Sonic facts, and explore it fact by fact. Of course, the facts at the surface are pretty well known, and the ones in the depths at the bottom are much more obscure, and I guarantee there'll be something in here you haven't heard of, even if you're a massive Sonic 3 and Knuckles fan. So, I present the Sonic 3 and Knuckles Iceberg. Before we start, shout out to Soccerman612 and BMV277, whose icebergs that were posted on Reddit I combined for this video to form the ultimate Sonic 3 and Knuckles iceberg. Let's get going. The Barrel of Doom. The Barrel of Doom refers to a particular puzzle found in Carnival Night Zone Act 2, where the player is required to use a barrel in order to progress. The barrel's mechanics went unexplained in the game's instruction manual, leading to many players assuming its momentum was controlled by jumping. While it is possible to get past the barrel this way, it's incredibly difficult. The barrel can actually be controlled much more simply by pressing the up and down buttons on the D-pad to make the barrel ascend or descend. Michael Jackson soundtrack. It's been confirmed that Michael Jackson composed a soundtrack for Sonic the Hedgehog 3 that went largely unused, though samples of Jackson's music and possible compositions of his remain intact in the final version of the game. The most prominent tracks that have similarities to Jackson's music are Carnival Night Zone, that uses a sample and the same beat as Jam, and the ending theme for Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which bears a striking resemblance to Stranger in Moscow. The reason for Jackson being uncredited for his work, and the reason for the majority of his work not making it into the final version of the game, is a topic that's been chronicled by the D-pad. Check the description for a link to their video. Hidden Palace Mural. Hidden Palace Zone contains a large prominent mural that depicts Sonic battling Dr. Eggman, who has possession of the Master Emerald. The mural is a depiction of the game's secret Doomsday Zone boss fight, suggesting the fight was preordained and prophesized by the former inhabitants of the Hidden Palace. A fan theory puts forward the idea that Eggman was able to trick Knuckles into believing Sonic was the baddie in the game because of the ambiguity of the mural, which almost looks like Sonic is trying to steal the Master Emerald from Eggman, who's acting as its protector. Some fans have suggested Sonic's depiction in the mural bears a resemblance to Shadow the Hedgehog. McDonald's toys. In 1994, a tie-in range of McDonald's Happy Meal toys were released, including a Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Dr. Eggman toy. The toy range released a couple of months later in Japan with a redesigned Eggman toy that looked more like his in-game appearance as opposed to his Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon look. McDonald's were also part of the reason why the game was eventually split into 2, as Sega were pressured to meet an early 1994 deadline due to this Happy Meal licensing deal. No way, no way. This refers to a message that shows on screen when plugging any Sonic game other than Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 into the Sonic & Knuckles cartridge. Most Genesis games grant the ability to play through the Sonic 3 and Knuckles special stages, dubbed Blue Sphere, when plugged into the Sonic & Knuckles cart. What's fascinating about this is that there's an astonishing 128 million different Blue Sphere special stage level layouts in total. Hydro City Sonic statues. In Hydro City zones, Sonic statues are sometimes visible in the background if you're able to reach the highest points of the stage. It's a neat little visual touch, and combined with the Hidden Palace mural, more evidence that Sonic's arrival on the floating island was prophesized. This little visual touch was also included in Sonic Mania 2. Hard Times. Rumours persisted for years that Ice Cap Zone was one of the stages based off a Michael Jackson song, with a lot of people pointing out similarities between Smooth Criminal and Ice Cap, but those theories turned out to be wrong. Ice Cap Zone was instead based on a song called Hard Times by obscure 1980s band The Jetsons, a band that Brad Buxer, who worked on the Sonic 3 soundtrack, was part of. Last year, The Jetsons issued a vinyl release of the song Hard Times featuring Ice Cap Zone on the cover, a little nod to the Sonic connection. Tiger Handheld. Back in 1994, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 was released on both the Sega Genesis and in Tiger LCD handheld form. It's not very engaging, but if you missed out on grabbing it back then, the handheld was one of many Tiger LCD games re-released in 2020. Sonic & Knuckles Collection. Sonic & Knuckles Collection was a PC compilation game released in 1997 that included Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic & Knuckles, and the Blue Sphere game. It's most notable for its MIDI soundtrack and the fact that Ice Cap Zone, Carnival Night Zone, and Launch Base Zone have music that differs from the console release. Yellow Socks. Due to a graphical glitch, Knuckles' socks appear yellow rather than the intended green in the cutscenes of Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Despite being a mistake, this look caught on in various forms of media that would go on to portray Knuckles with yellow socks for years to come. Unlike the deep red that was intended, Knuckles also appears a much more pinkish shade in Sonic 3, prompting Knuckles to sometimes appear as hot pink rather than red in various forms of comics, merchandise, and even in costume form. To be honest, I kind of like this pink version of Knuckles. November 3rd, 1993 prototype. The November 3rd, 1993 prototype of Sonic 3 is the first and only true prototype version of the game to have been discovered. The ROM was dumped and made widely available on the internet on November 16th, 2019. The prototype has a lot of significant differences from the final version of the game and includes abandoned character abilities, such as an early version of Sonic's Drop Dash found in Sonic Mania, unused character sprites and animations, and different music that would later be repurposed for Sonic & Knuckles Collection on PC, among other things. Save screen music glitch. There's an interesting music glitch on the Sonic 3 save screen. If you spend just over 47 minutes on the screen, one of the instruments will increase in volume dramatically, leading to a distinctly different sounding song. Original stage order. Flying Battery Zone was originally planned to follow Carnival Night Zone and precede Ice Cap Zone in the game's original stage order. The snowboard that Sonic uses at the start of Ice Cap Zone was originally going to be a broken hatch door from Flying Battery. Gamecom Sonic Jam. Sonic Jam is a 1998 game released for the black and white Tiger Electronics handheld system, the Gamecom. The game makes extensive use out of sprites from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Some prototype assets that went unused in Sonic 3 and Knuckles even ended up in this game. Sonic Jam is renowned for being one of the worst Sonic games ever released. Seriously, check out a video of it on YouTube, it looks awful. Sonic 3K Proof of Concept. Sonic 3K Proof of Concept is a video uploaded by Sonic Mania developer Christian Whitehead in 2014, showcasing a build of Sonic 3 and Knuckles being played on a mobile phone. Unfortunately, the mobile port never went any further than this, maybe because of licensing issues regarding the game's soundtrack, though we don't know for sure. Angel Island is the island on which most of Sonic 3 and Knuckles takes place, and it's inspired by a real-life island in California. What's confusing is that Angel Island may more commonly be known as the floating island in some regions, such as the UK, where it was always referred to as the floating island in Sonic the Comic. It's just another regional naming difference like Dr. Eggman versus Dr. Robotnik that's gone on to cause some confusion amongst fans. It's especially confusing because Angel Island Zone is also the first level of the game. So, effectively, Angel Island is simultaneously both the first zone of the game and also the name of the entire island that the majority of the game takes place on, except for Sky Sanctuary and Death Egg Zone, which are floating above the island itself. Spring replaced with 1-Up. Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic 3 Vanilla, or Sonic 3 without Knuckles, contain a number of notable differences. Most noticeably, Several music tracks, including the game's mini-boss and credits theme, are altered when Sonic 3 is locked on to Sonic & Knuckles. A few Sonic 3 zones also have some mini changes, making them generally easier than in Sonic 3 Vanilla. One example is this spring at the beginning of Hydro City Zone Act 2 that's replaced with a nice friendly 1-up instead. Sonic and Garfield. The Sonic and Garfield pack is a 1999 PC compilation game that includes the Sonic & Knuckles collection, Garfield Caught in the Act, and a puzzle game called Baku Baku Animal. The game has resulted in some pretty funny fan art being made, but that's it really. The two characters haven't really interacted beyond this game, as far as I know, which is a shame. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. In 1993, to promote the release of Sonic 3, Sega of America sponsored the creation of a Sonic balloon for the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, making Sonic the first video game character to appear in the parade. Unfortunately, the Sonic balloon was the victim of strong winds. It crashed into a lamppost, knocking out the bulb, and Sonic ended up deflated. In the process, the broken lamppost injured a man and a young girl. Sonic would have a much more successful parade in 1994, which went off without a hitch. Knuckles' story takes place after Sonic's story. Have you ever wondered about whether Sonic and Knuckles' adventure takes place concurrently or not? I guess it's fairly evident that they don't take place at the same time, because when you play through as Knuckles, you never interact with Sonic. But what's cool is that the game is littered with clues to suggest that Knuckles' story takes place after Sonic's. The evidence is baked into the levels. For example, the ghosts are already loose and released from their capsule in Sandopolis Zone, an event that we see happen when playing through the game as Sonic. In Launch Base Zone, the Death Egg, that's present in the background when playing as Sonic, isn't there for Knuckles. There's many more examples that you might miss if you just play through the game casually, but it shows a nice attention to detail. Blue Knuckles. Probably Sonic 3 and Knuckles' most famous palette glitch. It's possible to play as a blue version of Knuckles by using a Game Genie code. Blue Knuckles is really just Knuckles with Sonic's colour palettes, because you can see he retains Sonic's name and portrait in the bottom left of the screen. Strangely, when completing a level, Blue Knuckles is referred to as Tails. Interestingly, you don't have to use a Game Genie to get a glimpse of Blue Knuckles. Pause the game at the right time after passing an end-of-level signpost in Sonic 3, and you can see him there too. Hydro City pronunciation. Have you always called Sonic 3's second zone Hydro City, like I have? Or maybe you've called it something else. The Sonic community has suggested two possible pronunciations for the zone: Hydro City or Hydrocity. Some fans have even suggested other ways of pronouncing the zone. Which pronunciation is the correct one has never been explicitly confirmed by Sega, but it completely blew my mind to learn that not everybody pronounced it Hydro City. Sonic & Knuckles 5. Sonic & Knuckles 5 is one of many bootleg Sonic games released for the NES. Sonic & Knuckles 5 has a nifty 8-bit interpretation of the Sonic & Knuckles title screen with the music and all, but the actual game is a version of the original Sonic the Hedgehog with no Knuckles in sight. Get Blue Balls. Get Blue Spheres is the message that pops up when a special stage is entered in the game. However, originally the spheres were referred to as balls, and in development, the special stage introductory message read, "Get Blue Balls," which was changed for the obviously sexual nature of the message. And I'm not going to explain that any further. Broken Super Emeralds. In Sonic 3 and Knuckles, once the player has collected all 7 Chaos Emeralds, they can continue to enter the special stages and transform each Chaos Emerald into a Super Emerald. Super Emeralds were added to the game to give players something extra to collect, and collecting them allows the player to transform into Hypersonic, Hyper Knuckles, and Super Tails. It's since been confirmed that the Super Emeralds will not return in any future installments, making them exclusive to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And the Super Emeralds, along with Hypersonic, Hyper Knuckles, and Super Tails, are presumably not canon. Now it seems like they reappear in Sonic Mania, in the Hidden Palace Zone section of Knuckles' adventure. But Christian Whitehead has explained on Twitter that the broken-looking Super Emeralds in Sonic Mania are in fact just stone replicas. Rankles the Otter is a hoax character created by the UK version of Sega Magazine. The magazine published an article claiming there was a secret unlockable character called Rankles the Otter in the game, and offered a £1 million prize to the first fan to send in a photograph of Rankles. The article itself stated that Rankles was fictional and a joke character, but what's kind of interesting is that several readers sent the magazine screenshots of a green, glitched Knuckles, prompting the magazine to publish an article explaining how to achieve the green Knuckles glitch, and stating that this glitched Knuckles was not Rankles. The clever fans didn't get their £1 million. Run DMC. While Michael Jackson's involvement in Sonic 3 is relatively well known, samples of other musicians also found their way into the finished product. There are voice samples of Norman Cook and James Brown that appear in the Sonic 3 mini-boss theme, and there's a Run DMC sample that appears in the Launch Base Zone theme. Knuckles is a mole. In the original Japanese version of the 1996 Sonic the Hedgehog anime, Knuckles is a mole, not an echidna. In the movie, Knuckles is seen in a Whack-A-Mole parody scene. He's referred to as Mr. Mole by Sarah, and on the character bio section of the Western DVD release of the movie, Knuckles is once again referred to as a mole. What gives? Well, at one point in the Sonic 3 development process, Sega did toy with the idea of Knuckles being a mole, but landed on him being an echidna instead. I guess not everyone got the memo. Scott Pilgrim's favourite game. There's an awful lot of references to Sonic 3 and Knuckles in the Scott Pilgrim series of comic books. In one volume, Scott can be seen wearing a Sonic and Knuckles t-shirt. In another scene, Scott can be seen playing the game, Sandopolis Zone Act 2 specifically. And in another, Scott phones roommate Wallace to ask for the Sonic 3 cheat code. Also, one of Scott's earlier bands was literally called Sonic and Knuckles. And unlike in the movie, Sonic gets mentioned more than any other game, which might suggest that Sonic 3 and Knuckles is Scott Pilgrim's favourite game. So if it's your favourite game, you're in good company. Eggman replaces Egg Robo as Flying Battery Boss. This is an interesting little one. When you play as Knuckles, your main antagonist is Egg Robo, a robotic version of Eggman. In Flying Battery Zone though, Knuckles faces Eggman rather than Egg Robo. This is because the Flying Battery Boss uses a unique front-on sprite of Eggman's face that the team seemingly didn't prepare for Egg Robo 2. There's no lore significance here, as far as I know. And by the way, occasionally Knuckles is able to battle Eggman instead of Egg Robo in Mushroom Hill Zone, due to a graphical glitch as well. Humans in Sonic 3. Until Sonic 3, Dr. Eggman was the only known human character in the Sonic game universe, but both Marble Garden Zone and Sandopolis Zone contain decoration depicting humans. Officially, Knuckles is the remnant of a long-lost civilization of echidnas who built the Hidden Palace on Angel Island to host the Master Emerald and Chaos Emeralds. But what role did humans play in the history of Angel Island, and what was their relationship with echidnas? Sonic Adventure is the game that's thought of as introducing humans to the world of Sonic, but maybe they were always there. Dragon Ball Z connections. It's pretty well known that there are plenty of similarities between the Sonic and Dragon Ball Z franchises, least of all the sparkly golden super forms that both Sonic and the Saiyans can achieve. But did you know that one specific element of Sonic 3 and Knuckles was directly inspired by Dragon Ball Z? Can you guess what it was? Well, the globe-shaped 3D mini-worlds that the special stages take place in take inspiration from King Kai's Little Planet in Dragon Ball Z. Sega Sonic Bros. The Blue Sphere special stage music is a piece of music written by Yoshiaki Kashima that's actually recycled from an earlier cancelled 1992 arcade game, Sega Sonic Bros, where the piece is played in levels 40 to 49 and 90 to 99. So at the very least we know that music didn't come from Michael Jackson. Prototype Knuckles. Prototype Knuckles refers to an image of a really strange looking version of Knuckles that can be found on the internet. When it's posted online, it's often falsely described as a prototype version of Knuckles. Actually, the image originates from UK-based Sonic XS magazine, whose artists, not Sega, made this weird image. The 1993 prototype of Sonic 3 does contain a slightly different prototype Knuckles, who has a bit of a more pronounced brow. Marxio Brothers. The Marxio Brothers are a trio of villainous electricians that appear in the British Sonic the Comic. In the comic, the brothers are the ones responsible for the building and management of Carnival Night Zone. The Marxio Brothers are a mashup parody of the Marx Brothers comedy act and the Super Mario Brothers. The Marxio Brothers also have their own in-comic video game that Sonic can be seen playing, though he isn't a fan. Killing Eggman. It's actually possible to defeat and kill Dr. Eggman without the use of debug mode or anything like that. There's a little section of Launch Base Zone where Eggman appears and doesn't fly away until Sonic lands on the platform next to him. If you play as Sonic and Tails, you can keep Sonic bouncing on the spring and use Tails to jump and damage Eggman from the platform above. After 256 hits, Eggman will explode and release a little animal. Nike deal. While Knuckles was being designed, Sega were in the middle of working out a merchandising deal with Nike. As part of the deal, the white swoosh on Knuckles' chest was going to have been a Nike tick. Though the merchandising deal eventually fell through, the white crescent remained. This fact was made widely known by Did You Know Gaming, but this particular rumour has never been directly confirmed or denied by anyone associated with the game, as far as I know. The best evidence we have, although it's vague, comes from an interview with Sonic 3 artist Yuda Takahashi, who said, "Under Knuckles' neck, there's a mark that looks like that of a moon bear. Though we didn't come to an agreement, we were thinking about a collaboration with a certain shoe manufacturer. That mark is the remnant of that collaboration." Red Sonic. In 2012, a Sonic Stadium forum user called Oblivion the Hog uploaded a Portuguese magazine scan of an early version of Sonic 3 featuring a red hedgehog called Dreads in place of Knuckles. The scans convinced some users, but the Red Sonic turned out to be an elaborate but effective and memorable hoax. Eggman made the Sandopolis Guardian. So this one refers to the Sandopolis Zone Act 1 mini-boss, a stone guardian who protects Sandopolis Pyramid. This guy doesn't look like a typical Eggman creation, but he might actually be. Think about it. For starters, even though he can't be defeated by conventional means, when the player forces him to jump into the sinking sand, he nonetheless explodes, like Eggman's other creations. Also, Takashi Iizuka, in the guidebook for Sonic Jam, described the ghosts inside Sandopolis Pyramid as the first enemies who weren't made by Eggman, suggesting that maybe the Guardian was an elaborate Eggman creation. Knuckles is Jamaican. Knuckles was originally designed with the nation of Jamaica in mind, owing to his dreadlocks and the colour scheme of his shoes, which are inspired by Rastafarian colours. Knuckles was also planned to have a Jamaican accent according to official sources, though in what piece of media exactly is unknown, and obviously this never happened. Interestingly, in certain comics and books, however, remnants of Knuckles' Jamaican origin remains, as he occasionally uses the Jamaican word mon when speaking. Space Ghost Lost Episode. In a 1994 episode of Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Space Ghost can be seen playing the game and fighting against Knuckles in Hidden Palace Zone. Due to legal reasons, because the footage and music being used was without the permission of Sega, the episode with this Sonic snippet has been left out of subsequent DVD releases of the series, making it something of a lost episode of Space Ghost, though it remains widely accessible on the internet. Hidden katakana tiles in Slot Machine bonus stage. In Sonic & Knuckles there's a slot machine bonus level. Some hidden messages in Japanese katakana script have been uncovered as being hidden placeholders for the 3 slots. This katakana is actually a Japanese Buddhist poem called Iroha. The text isn't as weird as it sounds, and there isn't really any deeper Buddhist significance here, as the Iroha poem is quite often used as placeholder text in Japanese. It's not exclusive to Sonic & Knuckles. Sonic EXE. Sonic EXE is a viral creepypasta horror game in which a black and red-eyed version of Sonic hunts down and kills Tails, Knuckles and Dr. Eggman. It's pretty well known. This is a bit of a long shot, but one of the many palette glitches that can be achieved in Sonic 3 sees Sonic Eyes turn a similar black and red and his gloves turn a blood red too. Did this obscure palette glitch inspire one of the most well-known creepypasta games of all time? Probably not, but it's kind of fun to think so. Seinfeld and Sonic 3 Universe Connection. I think this one refers to one episode of Seinfeld where the crew visits Champagne Video Store when it's decorated with a whole bunch of Sega Genesis games, including Sonic the Hedgehog 3, which is a pretty neat cameo. Samsung Sonic. So this one's a strange one that isn't really discussed very often. Samsung Sonic refers to a strange one-off version of Sonic that appeared briefly in a Korean magazine advert. A little background on this one first. Due to historical tension between Japan and South Korea, it wasn't easy for Japanese companies to sell electronic goods in Korea in the 1980s and 90s. So the Sega Genesis was repackaged by Samsung over in Korea as the Super Aladdin Boy. The Korean version of Sonic 3 is pretty much the same as other regions, but the box art differs, and Samsung were responsible for the game's advertising. A strange image of Sonic, with a large mouse-like nose and blue arms, has been uncovered in an advert in a 1994 Korean gaming magazine titled Game Champ, accompanied with a Hangul version of the Sonic 3 logo, which is also quite rare, as the logo is rarely localized into other countries' scripts. The text below this strange Sonic simply reads, Samsung Game Software, suggesting Sonic may have briefly been appropriated by Samsung, though we currently don't know any further context about this strange apparition. Castle in the Sky Connection. Castle in the Sky is a 1986 animated fantasy adventure film written and directed by legendary Hayao Miyazaki of Studio Ghibli fame. The film bears a number of striking resemblances to Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Most prominently, both pieces centre around a floating island elevated into the sky by a powerful gemstone. Beyond that, several levels and even set pieces, such as Sky Sanctuary's destruction at the hands of the Death Egg, appear to be heavily inspired by parallel settings and scenes from Castle in the Sky. Though this connection has never been officially confirmed, Sonic creator Yuji Naka is a noted Miyazaki fan. Seizures. Seizures refers to a long-running rumour that certain aspects of Sonic 3 and Knuckles contains epileptic seizure-inducing visuals. This is often used as an explanation as to why Hypersonic has never reappeared in subsequent Sonic games because of the fast, rapid pace of his colour changes. Is this true? Well, reports of game-induced seizures can be found online dating from the early 1990s, but often the exact game in question is omitted, and I've not been able to find anything mentioning Sonic 3 and Knuckles specifically, though Sonic the Hedgehog as a series does get mentioned. Still, hypersonic causing seizures has become a common joke online, and for what it's worth, the Game Grumps of all people added a seizure warning in their playthrough of Sonic 3 and Knuckles due to the bonus stage. Chaos in Sonic 3. Now this is one of my favourite theories of all time. Chaos in Sonic 3 refers to a theory that Chaos, a monster who appeared in Sonic Adventure, was originally planned to appear in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. The primary evidence for this is MTV Sega Rock the Rock, a special Sonic & Knuckles teaser broadcast consisting of a competition where gamers would have the chance to competitively play Sonic & Knuckles for the first time inside Alcatraz prison. More interestingly than that, the special also shows a few behind-the-scenes clips of the development team's offices, with one wall in the office being plastered with concept art. Eagle-eyed fans have pointed out that one piece of art seems to depict a dragon-like creature battling Super Sonic, a creature that looks like an early concept for Perfect Chaos, the final boss of Sonic Adventure. Now the image is very obscured, but it looks pretty convincing. The idea that Chaos as a character was in development as early as 1993 is further corroborated by the Japanese manual for Sonic 3, that mentions Knuckles mistaking the Death Egg for some sort of prophesized legendary dragon egg. And there we have it, the depths of the iceberg fully explored. I'm sure there are plenty more weird and obscure nuggets of knowledge about Sonic 3 and Knuckles. If you know anything interesting, let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear it. At this point, I'd like to recommend two videos, Cybershell's Sonic 3 bonus video and the D-Pad's Michael Jackson video for more Sonic 3 and Knuckles facts. Oh, and also Mish Koz's Mario 64 Iceberg, of course. And my obscure Sonic games video too. Alright, that's all I've got. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe if you enjoyed this journey. See you next time.